Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your JIS News for Thursday, July 25. Cabinet has awarded a $1.2 billion contract to Astrom Building Systems Limited to carry out infrastructure works on Phase 4 of the Twickenham Park housing development in St. Catherine. Minister with oversight of the Information Ministry, Carl Samuda, says the project involves the construction of 110 two-bedroom single-storage duplex units.
The company will also undertake supporting civil infrastructure works to include roadways, stormwater, drainage systems, potable water distribution systems, sewage network, emergency procurement, and other important aspects of the development.
Minister Samuda made the announcement during Wednesday's post-cabinet press briefing at Jamaica House. He said the infrastructure work would be done over a 6-month period. The National Housing Trust is undertaking the development. 3 additional entertainment zones have been declared by the government. Culture and Entertainment Minister Olivia Grange says Waves Beach, Fort Clarence, and Helsha in Portmore are the island's newest entertainment zones. They join Fort Rocky in Port Royal, which got the designation in October 2018. These zones are areas in which any legal entertainment or sports activity can be staged anytime, day or night, unhindered, as long as the organizers are mindful of the historical value of such sites. The entertainment zones are expected to neutralize the problem of noise nuisance in residential areas. In the meantime, Minister Grange says her ministry is implementing other initiatives to further develop the sector.
We have developed a project in the Zozo community of Denham Town titled Social Inclusion through Entertainment, by which we have trained 45 youths in life skills, including bartending and events planning.
Minister Grange was making her sectorial debate presentation on Tuesday. The government of Jamaica is making strides in the act of reparations for survivors of the Coral Gardens incident. Minister of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sport, Olivia Grange, says the Public Defender's Social Inquiry Report has now been submitted to the Administrator General. The report is crucial to the disbursement of the $30 million compensation, which has been placed in a trust fund for the survivors of the 1963 incident.
We have, in the meantime, maintained contact with them and have worked very closely with the Rastafari Coral Gardens Benevolent Society to ensure that we take care of the elders.
Minister Grange says temporary homes will also be secured for the elderly members of the Rastafari community.
While we deal with the restoration of a property that has been provided to them by their Member of Parliament, the Honourable Horace Chan, which will be renovated and turned into a home for the elderly, for the Rastafari community. We have also secured wheelchairs from Food for the Poor and furniture to be used to furnish the elderly home.
During the Coral Gardens incident, there was a massive state crackdown against Rastafarians, which led to numerous persons being killed, injured, and imprisoned by the police in the St. James community. Minister of Labour and Social Security Shahini Robinson says the implementation process to facilitate the Disabilities Act is in full gear.
It is our intention to have the first 2 codes of practice and regulations completed by the end of the year. However, as a precursor, we must create the most stable and affirming environment in which to operationalize the Act.
Minister Robinson was making her sectoral debate presentation in Parliament recently. She said work was taking place to solidify the governance and organizational structure for a modernized and more efficient Jamaica Council for Persons with Disabilities, JCPD. The Council will transition to a corporate public body with expanded scope in its functions and services.
The JCPD has now finalized the Operational Procedures Manual for their suite of services. The Accessibility Manual obtained from the Access Board in Washington, D.C. is being adapted and reconciled with the measurements specified in the Jamaican Building Code.
The administrators of the National Insurance Fund, NIF, are looking to exceed the 31.67% growth in net asset value that was registered for the financial year ending March 31, 2019. The net asset value stood at $120.7 billion. Labour and Social Security Minister Shahini Robinson says the growth was driven primarily by the performance of the equity portfolio of investments, which grew by 31.3%.
NIF's primary focus is to maximize returns within acceptable risks, while maintaining a level of liquidity to enable timely payment of NIS benefits. The NIF continues to review asset allocations in order to ensure that there is appropriate diversification given the ever-changing dynamics of the investment environment in which the fund operates.
The National Insurance Fund provides important social protection for Jamaicans who contribute to the National Insurance Scheme, with returns in the form of pension payment and numerous other benefits. Procurement processes have started to undertake an updated actuarial review of the fund this financial year. The ministry is meanwhile looking to improve the welfare of more Jamaicans by increasing the number of contributors to the NIS, which currently stands at 50% of the workforce. And finally, Energy Minister Fable Williams says that come 2020, approximately 44% of the island's electricity generating capacity will be coming from natural gas. This will be made possible by the JPS's 190-megawatt power plant in Old Harbour to be commissioned this year, and the Jamalco 94-megawatt power plant in Clarendon slated for completion in 2020. Minister Williams says these government partnerships and the long-term contracts that have been signed contribute to the growth of the sector and will ensure price stability in electricity.
As a government, we recognize that the key to securing our energy future is the diversification, and LNG has played a significant part in that. The long-term contracts that are being signed will ensure that there's price stability and that these will endure to the benefit of Jamaicans.
The minister was speaking at the recent unveiling of New Fortress Energy's floating storage regasification terminal off the coast of Old Harbour. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.